Hello and welcome back to South Coast Busways, here at the Southern Vectis Garage in Newport on the Isle of Wight, where we are in a bit of a financial pickle, and I am looking at a bunch of Mellor Stratas that are part of the Ryde Mini-Links fleet. My plan for today is not involving the mainland pretty much at all. So, I'm going to go over some changes that I made off camera to the G1 and G2 down in Gosport, and to the 30 in Southampton. So, G1 and G2. They're not that busy, and they run every 10 minutes each. So they're not that busy, and they use quite a few vehicles to be not busy. So, I've put them down to every 20 minutes each, and because the circuit takes 20 minutes, they should interwork. I've enabled interworking, so they will probably interwork. And on Sundays, I think they only run every half hour. So, you know, we're making Gospel a little bit more efficient. And the efficiency theme continues with the 30, which is the route that we put in last episode. Which was not last week, sorry about that. It was a little bit over 2 weeks ago. So the 30 we put in last time, bit of a recap because it has been more than the normal amount of time, runs from the far side of the far side of the city centre, that's a tongue twister to say, all the way around the bottom, all the way through the city centre, past Central Station, and then up pretty direct to the university and then the halls at Glenire. The 30 is going to run fully with a fleet of these beautiful things, these 10.9 metre Volvo B5LH based Enviro 400 MMCs. And initially I had it running every 10 minutes during peak time, rather than every 12 minutes throughout the day, and I got a comment saying, yeah, maybe the 30 should run every 12 minutes all day, because it's not that busy, really. So, yeah, I've taken that. The 30 now runs every 12 minutes all day. And I've also taken the night service, because rather than making the night service use single-deckers, which have their own allocations at different times during the day, and I don't want to mess that up, I've just lowered the frequency from every 20 minutes to every 30. So, that's the G1, G2 and the 30 for off-camera work. As for routes that we still have yet to activate, we have the P4, which we made God knows how long ago, the P5, which happened alongside that, and the slightly more recent Route 6 between Southampton and Coolshot. Is there anything else? Yes, there's the 215, which goes to Fareham Hill Park, along the busway. So, why did I start with looking at Mellor Stratas? We haven't talked about Cal's Mini-Links yet. Well, first of all, these buses will need repair. That one's not even providing Wi-Fi at the minute, that's bad. Lights and indicators with brake pads and oil, just to top them up. Well, I did start by talking about efficiencies, and SVR is the next efficiency. How much is SVR costing us to run? I have no idea. Where can I see that? Where can I see how much this garage is costing us to run? I don't know, but it's probably a lot. So I'm going to start by moving all of these over to SV. Well, not quite all of them actually, because we only have, let's have a look, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces free. And I could put more in, but they cost money and I don't have that right now. So I need to move 9 of the stratas over. There are 10 stratas here. So SV, 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 and SV. There you go, that's 9 of them. So let's go over back to SV. And I need to make a new vehicle group because of all of the new buses. So let's get everyone in. Just realised they do actually take time to get down. That one's going very fast. Where's it parked itself? Where's it gone? Why was that one going across the map so quickly? Aha! Everyone's arrived. Everyone's here. Everyone's home. So I need to make new group 112. New vehicle group. This is the 112. The Ryde mini link. So I'm having to type around my microphone cable. This is very, very good. I have a very good setup. There we go. So. Ooh, very laggy. Oh, she's laggy tonight. Love that. It was doing good when I loaded the game up. Anyway, 112. 112. 112. 112. 112. And 112. Interesting, why is there a spot free? Has it parked somewhere else? Now I need to play Hunt the Mellor. Didn't want to have to play Hunt the Mellor. Maybe there was more than one I didn't move. Okay. It's my fault, it's not the game's fault. Let's get that moved over to SV, where there's now 180 vehicles. And also, yeah, nothing is in. Isn't that fun? So, what I now need to do is get the routes at SVR that were worked by the minibuses put over onto that vehicle group. So the 31, that one was definitely minis. I believe the 33 was yeah, all the Ryde Tesco ones are minis. I think that's how it was. So edit timetable. We want 112, 112, 112, and 112. Now the 33. Edit timetable. 112. 112. 112. And 112. The 36 starts at the bus station. That's definitely a proper bus. That one's also a proper bus. And then the 39 to Haven Street, that is also a minibus. And it starts on an inbound, which is actually perfect, seeing as the buses are now coming from that end of the route. And I bet it ends on an outbound as well. No, it doesn't. Okay. That's fine. So, I think that's all of those. Oh, we have a notification of illness from someone at SVL. That's fine, because your garage has a dramatically reduced workload now. Oh yeah, another thing I need to do with the Ryde routes, which is alliteration, very nice, is these need to go from SV. The 34, and finally the 39. There we go, so now it's just the small buses. And we're missing one apparently. Fun. If I can move that, then I can move that. They're the same, basically. 1800. We can move that. And I can put that there. Oh, isn't that nice? It's almost like it does work. Right, now, SV, if I go back to here, copy, paste. And let's put these out. Right, I need a 1255. That won't go. Perfect. That's not going either. Oh dear. A lot of things aren't working. I'm almost tempted to just hit assign buses automatically and fix the mess. But I know that'll take forever, because I also need to, when I do that, I also need to fix the mess on the N13. But this mess isn't terrible. And why is the 34 being allocated to a cow's bus? Because it's allocated to cows buses at the moment. Love that. Let's put that on Ryde buses rather than cows buses. Because now that we have both of the fleets going from SV, it's quite important to keep them separate. Let's put drivers on this. And at SV, redo that. This depot, and boom. Isn't that lovely? Now there's a Ryde mini links that's not going, 520 to 1320. Bear in mind that we do have, or that we don't have enough Ryde vehicles, because we are missing one. There's one still at SV because there's no space for it at the moment. However, if I can move the point of oh no back as far as I can, then that will be good. That's 1235, 1305. There's a 2020. Right, mini links 1205 to 1825. Let's have a look. Now, and I almost want to reckon that when everything's getting sort of bedded in, that it might be acceptable to run a bus from cows, like from cows mini links, on a Ryde service. I don't know. I mean, I want to avoid that where possible, but if it can't be avoided, maybe I won't be too upset. The point of RO, however, is now 1235. So, I mean, actually, I can make the point of RO a bit later. Wouldn't you look at that? The point of RO is now 1240. Ooh. Late. However, I don't think late enough to do much more with. That's fine, because I can obviously still manually allocate it from thingy. And I can use my fleet of small buses and spares. I forgot about that. I have a fleet of small buses and spares here. So 2040, that's the only time that one's going to go out. Then we have the spare solo. Where is our spare solo? It's a Y something plate. There it is. Put that one there. And okay, there's one more, or two more, 1255 and 1305. That's annoying. I have no idea what's going on. I do, it's that I don't have enough buses. That 1255 to 2055, if I take that off... Oh no, that's a cow service. I can't do that. What if I do this? That won't go. But you'll go. 1305? No. No, that wasn't going to go anyway. 2005. Oh. Well, look, that can go there. And now I'm missing just this 1255. Which I don't think I can put anywhere at the moment. No. Good. So I'll get the rest of these sorted. These are sort of more normal, standard fare type things. And I will see you when service starts for the first time SVR services get operated out of SV. So, that's the allocations all done. That took me way longer than I was expecting it would take. And several curveballs over on the island. The 3's allocation's never been short before. I've always been able to make it work. And the 6 was significantly shorter than normal. So I'm a little bit worried about that. Because those routes worked. It did normally need some level of intervention from me, but they worked. I don't know why they're not working now. And of course when I talk about the 6, I just mean that we needed to use more of the tridents than normal. Because normally we only need, what, 2 or 3 out? Maybe 4. But there's a lot of tridents that are going to be out today, and probably for the rest of this game week, because I just copy the timetables over. In fact, let's do that. So, the island. It's 2 AM, there's like nothing going on. The N13's happening. But aside from that, there's nothing going on the network right now apart from the night services on the 5 and 30. Which is fun. So the game plan is to have the rest of SVR, which is the last remaining MM-25, as well as the 15 ESs moved over by the end of the episode, and then we'll only have one garage on the Isle of Wight, being the main one in Newport. And then from there we'll be able to expand the SV network to include Ventnor. I'm going to have a little local service that's going to go to probably St Lawrence from Bonchurch, and then we're going to have a mini link system in Sandown Lake and Shanklin. So that's going to be fun. Also, there's something at GP that I just want to check. Yes, SO17BLU doesn't have a space in its license plate, and that's annoying me. There you go, now there's a space, it's formatted properly. So let's go back to SV. There is a lot happening at SV right now. That's on a 14. That barely fits, but that works. That works. Wait, I mean, that just looks like a stop. I think that might just be a stop. Oh well. That works. That obviously works. That's very, very easy. That's a bit odd, but fine. Where are you going? Oh dear. And about your friend? Oh, we got a traffic jam. We got a traffic jam. Here's a 33 Seafield Garage. That works. That works. Of course, all these Sataras will be on 4s. Are you going out today? Yes. Very good. So we have this thing in the top. I think I might probably good to just mention. We have this thing about network coverage in nursling. We have to connect 52% of nursling. This is nursling. I don't know what we're already connecting in nursling, because there's nothing, you know, we're not serving nursling at all. But I'm not worried about that at all, because we're going to be sending a very major route up here, up this road, making a beeline for Rumsey. That would be numbered the 1, and it'll have a branding a brand associated with it, which will be called the Rumsey Rocket, because I'm creative like that. So that should get nursling served. It's just we need money for buses, and we also are maxed out on loan. So this episode is very much how can we have fun on the cheap, because I can't even fake my way into it with debt. Because, like, Sundays are not profitable. That's yikes, actually. Sundays are not profitable. Were we profitable last Sunday? No, we weren't even profitable last Monday. What on earth happened? So, yeah, you know, but we're making 300,000 or so a day in profit. Let's have a look at our ticket prices. Very good. They're selling well. We're making plenty of money from them. Let's bump the weekly ticket up to 30. Why not? And let's look at our graphs. Let's look at our stats. Yes, Sunday numbers absolutely through the floor. We do need quite high passenger numbers on this map to make a profit, which is unfortunate. Average delays. They're hovering around a minute, I would say. And utilization. Yes, I would say we have our Sundays pretty accurate in terms of like demand to service, because it doesn't drip. It doesn't utilization doesn't drop by much. Let's have a look. Company network coverage. Pretty flat. We've not done much in the way of expansion. Then we expanded and expanded, and then expanded the map and then expanded. Network length. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. Well, we sort of had constant expansion, almost. And number of routes. Yeah. Buses, let's have a look. Cleanliness is hovering in the sort of mid to low 90s, very nice. Number of passengers, that's the second time that has shown up. Technical condition hovering in the sort of high 80s, very good. And bus mileage creeping up, and then we bought loads of buses. So it's like pretty much where we were, which is nice. So let's have a look. Now that it's sort of morning time, everyone should be in operation. The Cows mini-links? No, I'm not looking at Cows, I'm looking at Ryde. The network in Ryde is doing pretty well. Very happy with that. There is a little hole in the Ryde network in that there's no direct link between Haven Street and Ryde, which needs to happen. So, I mean, if I had money, that would be something to do if we were making this a fully Vectis episode, which would have been, you know, that would have been nice. Like, if we had enough for, like, some mini-links on... They wouldn't have been mini-links. But, like, you know, if we had enough for local stuff in, like, on the island, just something small, Haven Street to Ryde would have been a decent thing to do this episode, I think. But there we are. I keep accidentally talking about cows, so let's look at cows. Cows is doing... I mean, the Cows Mini-Links network is really, really busy. I don't know why it's this busy. It shouldn't be this busy. I don't want it to be this busy. I want it to be quite... You know, I want all these buses to be running about half full, not full. Because, like, you know, we want everyone to get a seat. Now we have a 30 to assign. I don't think it'll go from SM because I did a lot of this allocation manually. I did some of the allocation manually. Don't want to give myself too much credit. Definitely not allocating any of that out of SVR or SV, because they're on an entirely different body of land. But let's have a look, see if there's any VHs that can go. I doubt it. But if there's VHs that can go, I'm happy to use those, because they're very high capacity for being single deck, but no. B5TLs I'm also happy with because they're double decks. But yeah, looks like no one's free at SM right now. I wonder if Gosport will have something free because the lower vehicle requirements on the... Yes, there is. Here we go, we're sending a bus in from Solent Blue to help with the 30. So, I mean, let's have a look. Let's see how things are going. Things around Newport, it's like Newport just sort of gets on with itself. It's like Newport's like no drama. Buses just happen. Sometimes they get busy. The 1 and the 901, that corridor is just hugely busy. And the 1 and the 901 are the most frequent services on the island, I believe. Because, you know, it's an important corridor, this little thing. Goes to hospital. And then that little extension of the 901 to Asda, that's very useful. And, I mean, the 21 has kind of been the bane of my existence for the entirety of this series. Because it was never intended to be big and, like, you know, it was never intended to be a major service. It was always intended to be a sort of local backstreets connection that I run small buses on. And even when I routed it this way to make it less direct into Newport, it's still busy. Right, we got 1200. Anyone at SM can do. Anyone at SM? Nope. What about SC? I doubt. I have many doubts. But I wonder if Gosport will pull through again. There's always a chance of that. Oh, hang on. I spoke too soon. We can give them a Solent Limited. Isn't that nice? They get the fancy bus. And then this, not research. This can go from SVR's single minibus that's left. There we go. Isn't that lovely? Something that I didn't check when I looked at our finances is what are our ticket inspectors doing in terms of fines? Not too bad, not too shabby. I do wonder why there are so many fare evaders in this game. You know, when you're buying a bus ticket in the UK, it's like you literally walk up to the driver, like, you know, you buy them from the driver. You don't buy before you board, or you don't buy from a, you know, conductor or anything like that. You literally, it happens as you get on. How are there so many fare evaders? Or are we just setting the fines really, really high? Anywho. Why are there... Hang on. Oh. This stop is really, really busy. Why? Okay, there's a lot of people just for the 4. When is the 4? Oh. Gone. The 4's gone. Oh, the game is doing that thing where you click and it completely disobeys you. That's fun. This game is full of bugs, but we love it nonetheless. I do feel 68's a little bit high on capacity for these things, but Sataras do have loads of standing room, so I don't know, maybe it works out. Either way, the 4 is not a busy route. See, I would like to be able to see a route by route breakdown in terms of which ones are profitable. Because you can see how much revenue they generate, but you can't really see that against profit, unless that's what this is. But you can't hover over and get a tooltip, so I don't know what this number is. But then if I check statistics and show tour details, profit in the last 7 days. Okay, so I can see what the runners and riders are. Every route is apparently profitable. The least profitable route is the N25, which does make sense because it only runs a few days a week. And it's not that busy because it's a night bus. The N13, also a night bus. I'd imagine the Ryde network becomes slightly less profitable because of all the longer, because the longer dead runs mean the buses are consuming more fuel, they're getting more mileage, so they're more likely to break down, and the drivers are working longer hours with the longer dead runs. However, the 5 is doing absolute gangbusters. It's pretty much at capacity. The 8's doing great. The 8, I think, is pushing well beyond, like, well above its weight. It's doing really well. The 11 and 12 are doing fantastically. The 220, I don't know, I'm tempted to make the 220 less frequent. That would be, I think, its second down rating. But, you know, that's kind of the way it may go. The 36, I think that's the all of Solent Red so far, making up the top of the list. Plus the 220. But yeah, that's the state of play. We're still criminally underserving Portsmouth, which will have to change. But I don't want to run it from GP or WR. It's like, I want to be able to establish a garage there first. Unless maybe I start it from SW? I don't know, that's going to be the Fareham garage. And the garage for Swanwick. And there's also going to be like more garages in Southampton, because SM is like more than a third full, and it's only got 3 routes out of it, I think. It's not got much. And Southampton City is full. It's at 100 of 100. So, you know, that's a moment. I do love how the 8 is really, really quiet around here, as it would be. But then you get into Southampton proper and it just starts to get really busy. Like, that feels like really good behaviour. Like, really accurate. Like, maybe at this time I would expect slightly busier, because that's sort of, you know, lunchtime. But then as we come in through West Totton, you know, we start getting busy. We get double digits on board. Why is this 9 15 minutes late? And how is it going to recover? Let's have a look. 14 late now. Back up to 15, never mind. I don't think the 9 needs to be as frequent as it is. It's every 15 minutes. And this one is 15 minutes late, so there's, you know, technically a bus missing, and it's still empty. So maybe the 9 can get away with being half hourly. Because there's also the local services between Ryde and Bembridge. This is just the episode of Efficiencies, you know. Let's go back to SV. And also cutting back on the demand for the 10.3 meter MMCs means we cut back on the demand for the Tridents, because we can move excess 3s and 6s onto those. The 7 I'm relatively happy with. The 7 was never destined to be the best performer in the world, but I think it's doing fine. Definitely doesn't need double deckers. I don't quite know what I was thinking, but, you know, we move. I work in mysterious ways. I believe those mysterious ways are called poorly, but I work in them nonetheless. Then again, we could probably advertise, you know, the views from the upper deck on this section between Brook and Freshwater Bay, because that's probably quite nice. speaking of quite nice, we're about to break out of our overdraft. Isn't that lovely? No longer in overdraft. It means we can start putting parking spots down for the normal of the E200s at E200 MMCs at SVL. And wouldn't that be fun? There is like a sea of like yellow, orange and red above the Southampton buses, which is satisfying in a way. As for Gosport, I think the G1 and G2 are significantly more realistic. And where do they meet? Because they run about 10 minutes apart. They meet there, just around the marina. Quite nice. Oh no, wait. They're offset by not quite half. I think here is the halfway point, really. Which does make sense, because it's like directly opposite. Also, I don't know if this is the new bus station or not, because Gosport does have a new bus station. And it's like right next to the old one, so I'm unsure. We're no longer overdrawn. We're no longer overdrawn from investing in the 30, which is a quiet route. Oh no, no. I take that back. The 30's pretty busy. 60 people on that bus. And like coming out of town, 42. It's just very quiet between the university and the halls, which it wouldn't be really. Like that, if you did like a £1 uni shuttle ticket between the halls and the... That would be really, really popular. I wish you could do like more interesting ticketing, like, you know, like that if like that sort of, if you're travelling between the university and Glenhour halls, you get the university shuttle price, which is like £1, to try and get more people on just for that section. Because I feel like that's something that would exist. Also, just want to sort of talk about it before the episode ends. Romsey. So, main route to Southampton, I touched on it. It's going to be called the 1. It's going to be numbered the 1, and it's going to be called the Romsey Rocket. Then there'll be an extension to it called the X1, which runs limited stop between Southampton and Romsey, then continues to Salisbury, all stops, and that will be the Salisbury Swift, because I like my alliterative branding. I think it's fun. But then, because I've got the Romsey Rocket as the main route into Romsey, I was like, how should I brand Romsey's local services? Because I wanted to call those Romsey Rockets, but I didn't want both of them. So I think I'm going to call them the Romsey Rounders or the Romsey Runners. So it's like, which one is your favourite? Let me know. And I don't quite know the extent of the Romsey Runners / Romsey Rounders. Whether they just sort of exclusively run sort of within Romsey, which I would say is sort of here, or whether they go to places like Ampfield and North Baddesley. No idea on how to brand Eastleigh Chandler's Ford, because it's sort of two towns divided by this big motorway. I think that's the M3. And another brand that is going to be I say brand, it's not going to be a route brand, it's going to be an operation brand like Solent Red. The New Forest Greens are going to exist, you know, in sort of the New Forest sort of area between Solent Red territory and places like Bournemouth. So around here, and there's going to be a mainline route, I think between Lymington and Ringwood, and I'm going to call that one the Green Line, because, you know, Green Line has an association with mainline bus services in the southeast, especially around London, but in the southeast. So I think it's a good thing to name a route. Anywho, I have been going for probably way too long for an episode where we haven't really done much. So, I will see you in the next... I will see you next week on South Coast. Bye bye.